Well, if you head out to the water, whether you are a shore angler or a boat angler, and if you can start to see this, you are going to completely elevate your fishing to a completely different level, and that is being able to see edges. And by edges, I mean edges in the macro and edges in the micro. A macro edge is like right now I'm sitting in the bay and I've got all these different, brush piles sitting here, bushes that have died and fallen into the water, and they create a very clear and defined edge. So that would be a macro example. A micro edge is going to be from the fish's point of view, and this is where it gets difficult, okay? This is where it gets tricky. So as an angler, I might start to come in and fish the ends of all this wood, right? And thinking, okay, the bass are probably going to be using this like a highway. Well, if I get down here under the water, then I start to see a whole bunch of other edges that are not as easily seen from our world, our perspective, okay? That could be the edge of a weed line, some chara grass. It could be the edge, let's say at the bottom of a boat ramp between the rock that they put in there for a prop backwash and then where that rock stops. So depending on the water clarity, we aren't going to be able to always see these micro edges. So that's, as an angler, where we need to decipher it with our lures. Find those macro edges, highways, and these could be created by shadows, from the sun, like I said, brush, dock lines, break lines, fishing, from shallow water to deep water. Those can be all great examples of macro things, but then we need to take those lures, okay, that make good bottom contact and kind of decipher what some of those micro edges are going to be. And the lures that we're using to decipher them may or may not be the most efficient lure for catching bass once we locate where some are sitting. But I like to use heavy jigs, deep diving crankbaits, Carolina rigs. All of those are really good at deciphering those edges that the fish are seeing that we are not necessarily seeing. So be thinking about edges on the macro and the micro, and you're going to really change the quality of angler that you are. And hey, if you want to talk about an edge that holds bass all year, go ahead and check this video out right here, and make sure that you go out and encourage someone today. You never know how you might just change their life. For the Bass Fishing Life, I'm your host, Steve Rogers.